We have just finished the meeting in the conference on Let's Talk Good Governance with our special guest speaker, the philanthropist, Loida Luis. And we will bring you around to other people and let's talk to them about the thoughts on the Philippine election and many more. We have Attorney Rodel Rodis, U.S. Pinoy for Good Governance, our president. Not much introduction is needed. So he will talk about good governance and what we have taken and why we will vote for Mar Roxas and Leni Robredo and more. Please welcome Attorney Rodel Rodis.
U.S. Pinoys for Good Governance was formed when we organized the U.S. Pinoys for Noy Mar, and that was in I think August, September of 2009, and we organized around the country to support Noy Mar, and the election showed that Noy received over 50% of the votes in the U.S. against the 3 or 4 other candidates. And and Mar received 64% of the votes of Filipinos in the U.S. When we went to the inauguration of President Aquino on June 30 of 2010, we formally organized ourselves into U.S. Pinoys for Good Governance, and Mar Roxas spoke at our founding conference and wished us well. So we remembered his recognition of our efforts, his appreciation of what we were able to do. And 5 years later, he's now the one running for president. And much of our membership remembers his support for us. So we are supportive of his candidacy.
Exactly. Thank you, Rodel. And there has been a lot that we have done. All the legwork we have done para po kay Aquino. Ngayon naman po gawin natin kay Mar Roxas at Leni Robredo. Marami pong salamat. Thank you, Rodel. We have another community leader, the former professor of University of the Philippines. I would like to introduce to you Professor Cesar Torres, and let's hear from him of his thought on the Philippine election. Mr. Torres, please share your thought on the Philippine election and how can we have our Filipino people be active in political, in election, and then choosing the best candidate.
First of all, I am very impressed with the organizing group of this forum today, lalo na ito si Idol. I call her Idol, Charito Binipayo. Okay, the election. Well, secondly, I was impressed with the presentation of one of the most famous Filipina leaders in America, Loida Nicolas Lewis. Ang galing niyang magsalita. So impressed ako. Okay, about the Philippine election in 2016, this is very critical for our homeland and for us Filipinos all over the world. Dapat talaga makapili tayo ng mga leaders na mapapagkatiwalaan at saka kaya na susundin ng mga tao. At saka yung nasa isip ko lang po dyan ay isa, si Leni Robredo. Bakit si Leni Robredo? Parang nanay, parang si Sisa sa ating Philippine literature, di ba yung Kerizal nobela? Si Sisa na aalaga ng Pilipinas, look at her. Nag-aral, mayroon siyang degree from the UP, School of Economics, nag-aral siya. It took her 7 years to finish a degree in law. Pagkatapos wala pa silang katulong sa bahay nila. Sila ang nagluluto, nagplaplantsa, naghuhugas. Pagkatapos, nung naging congressman siya, she won the 80% votes of the people in Camarines Sur. Wala siyang auto, sumasakay siya sa bus. Pagkatapos, it takes her about 10 hours one way going to Manila and another 10 hours going to Naga. Pagkatapos, lagi siyang nandoon sa mga constituents niya, yung mga tao hinihingi niya ng kung ano ba ang magagawa niya. Yung sinabi ni Ma'am Lloyda kanina na 80 daw ang upuan sa isang classroom. Ang iba doon sa Bicol, walang upuan at saka sa buong Mindanao, walang upuan. So we are hoping that with the new leadership, si Mar Roxas, na hindi niyo naman masasabing magnanakaw yan eh. Ang yaman-yaman ng pamilya na yan. Pagkatapos sinisiraan lang, pagkatapos mayroong article about kung ano talaga ang nangyari sa Tacloban, basahin nyo yun. This election is very critical itong election. Mamili tayo. Salamat po, ma'am.
Salamat, Professor Cesar and Mar Roxas and Leni. Tandaan po natin yan. Ngayon, meron pa isang community leader po dito. Atin po si Noel Calisa. Let's hear from him something about Philippine election. Bakit natin iboboto si Mar Roxas at si Leni Robredo?
Unang-una, upang ituloy ang daang matuwid. Sapagkat para tuloy-tuloy ang asenso ng Pilipinas, upang sa gayon wala nang mahirap sa darating na panahon. Sapagkat naibigay natin ang mga dapat na mapunta sa kanila sa halip na mapunta sa bulsa ng mga politiko. Maraming salamat po.
We have another community leader and he was the former mayor of Hercules. And we'd like to talk to him ano ang kanyang masasabi para po sa ating eleksyon sa Pilipinas at bakit po natin iboboto si Mar Roxas at si Leni Robredo. Please welcome si Andy Paras po.
Thank you very much, Charito. Importante po mga kababayan na tulungan natin si Mar Roxas at saka si Leni Robredo dito sa darating na eleksyon. Very important na maituloy natin ang inumpisahan ni Pinoy na daang matuwid. Nakita natin kung paano niyang nilinis ang gobyerno mula sa Department of Justice, sa military, ngayon pati sa Kongreso at saka sa Senado. Meron ng mga taong nakakulong at saka naalis doon sa mga posisyon na yon dahil sa corruption. Ngayon kailangan pa natin ng konting ng panahon para ituloy yan. Kaya kailangan natin tulungan si Mar Roxas at saka si Leni Robredo. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat and thank you so much. We have another figure here, a community leader and the famous former mayor of Milpitas, His Honorable Henry Manayan. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Henry Manayan. Welcome to Islanders TV.
Thank you.
I would like to hear his thought on the Philippine election and what is any kind of advice you would give to the Filipinos in order to be more active politically. And of course, this rally is for Mar Roxas and Leni Robredo, President and the Vice President of the Philippines. Please, let's welcome Henry Manayan.
Yes, thank you very much. And greetings, everyone. My name's Henry Manayan, former mayor of the city of Milpitas from 1996 to 2002. And I think the Filipinos have a very important election coming up for them, especially now with all the crises that are happening in Asia and financially and economically. This is a very, very important time for the Filipinos. I think they have to look at all the candidates very seriously and determine if the candidates have the three important qualities that I think are important to be successful in politics. Number one, do they have the vision? Do they have a vision for the Philippines moving forward, and can they spell that out? What are the steps that they need to take in order to be really, truly successful? Number two, are they committed? Do they have the commitment level necessary to follow through on their plans and stick with the strategy that's going to take them where they need to go? And third but not least, probably the most important, is courage. Do they have the courage to enact the policies that are necessary for them to succeed in this day and age and be competitive with other Asian nations? So those three things, the vision, the commitment, and the courage to move forward in these turbulent times, these are the questions one must ask, determining whether or not the politicians are going to be able to be the correct people to lead the Philippines into the next century. And I wish them all the best of luck. God bless.
Thank you, Henry. And we have other poor people that we would like to talk to. We have another community leader and long-time famous icon in the Bay Area, Helen Marte. We'd like to hear from her kung ano po ang masasabi niya, bakit natin po iboboto si Mar Roxas at si Leni Robredo.
Hi, I would like to make a statement that Mar Roxas is a very astute leader from Congress to Senate and a Secretary of Transportation. He has done an excellent job in the Philippines, and Leni is astute, and hopefully that we can get Mar Roxas and Leni Robredo for the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. And another community leader over here, President of the Philippine American Press Club and Marketing Director of Inquirer.net, Esther Chavez. And let's hear her thought kung anong masasabi niya, bakit natin gustong iboto si Mar Roxas at si Leni, at ang kanyang maibibigay na payo sa mga botante ng Pilipinas.
Thank you, Charito. Ang masasabi ko lang, pag-isipan natin ng mabuti bago tayo magboto. Huwag tayong madadala ng mga bagay-bagay, kung anong future na ina-offer ng mga ibang politiko. Mag-isip tayo para sa bayan muna. Bayan muna bago sarili. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Esther. We have another community leader here in the person of Mila Llorente. She's well known all over too, but so much, I don't need a much introduction. She's very well known. Sasabihin niya sa atin, paano pagboto, bakit natin iboboto? Please welcome Mila.
Oh, thank you. Before I listened to Lloyda's speech today, I had no idea about what's going on in the Philippines other than what I read in the social media. But after listening to Lloyda and what was accomplished by Daang Matuwid by Nonoy, I am now convinced that Mar and Leni are the best candidates. And you know, that will encourage me to call my relatives and friends in the Philippines so they will all vote for them. Thank you.
Exactly. That's one of the best results of why we're doing here around. And as I said, Lloyda is going almost all over. And we have here another community leader, Guerrero. He is going to share with us kung anong kanyang masasabi about election in the Philippines, anong dapat gawin ng mga Pilipino para magamit nila, kung sino ang dapat iboto, bakit natin iboboto si Mar Roxas at si Leni Robredo. Pakinggan po natin si Mr. Guerrero.
We have to vote for Mar Roxas. As you know, he's a Wharton graduate. Who among the candidates can compare to his qualifications? And now, his Vice President, Leni Robredo, who has a cleaner record than that? Nobody has a cleaner record than that.
Thank you, Guy. Maraming salamat. I have another community leader. He's a well-known, especially here in the Bay Area, locally, and then even in the Philippines and globally. I don't need much introduction about him because he's very well-known. At kilala din po sila. Siya ngayon ang presidente ng Manilas finest. Let's talk to him what he can say about the Philippine election, what he thinks, and how do we educate the Filipinos to vote for the right president, not only because for Mar Roxas and Leni Robredo. If you think Mar Roxas and Leni Robredo are good for our governance as president and vice president, please share us your thought. Mr. Gani Isagani Pugaw.
Hi, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to say thank you. Salamat po sa mga nagwa-watch sa amin. I am now the president of Manila's Finest, and I've been president for so many years. Here's my peace of mind about this coming Philippine election. This is a very important event because we're going to choose the right, competent leader that should run our country. As Miss Loida had, if I can quote her, she said, the leader of the Philippines should be, first of all, he should love the Filipino people, and second, he should be a competent. And the vice president position is also important because if something happened to the president, everybody knows she will take over. And Leni Robredo is very competent, and I know she loves the Filipino people. But let's go back to the president. Mar is not only competent, there is no trace, or he has never been involved in any corruption. So, Filipino like me should vote for Mar. Let's go for Mar, please. I'm telling you, if you vote for Mar, we are on the right track now. We should go daang matuwid. Marami pong salamat.
Marami pong salamat. Thank you, Mr. Gani Pugaw. I'd like to introduce to you one of the good community leaders, and let's just hear from her. First of all, she's also running for the public office here in the Bay Area.
My name is Marjan Philhour. I'm running for the Board of Supervisors in District 1 in San Francisco. That's the Richmond District neighborhood, which is the area encompassing University of San Francisco all the way into the Pacific Ocean. So I'm running for this local seat because I have 3 young children, age 8, 6, and 2. And for me, I want them to be able to grow up and raise their children in the same neighborhood that we are living in now. And I don't see that given the local issues that are facing us in San Francisco today. I'm working to keep families and working people in San Francisco by supporting the local economy, supporting small businesses, investing in transportation infrastructure, and to prioritize housing affordability, create more housing for middle-class families in which they can live. So it's so important. These local races are so important. I just came from walking door to door today in the neighborhood and asking voters what they feel is the most pressing issue in the neighborhood. And it's so important that when we're working with elected leaders or those who aspire to be elected leaders, that we vote for people who really will listen to voters and who want to engage with the community. In San Francisco, it's the only city and county in the state. So this is truly a local seat. There are 11 local districts in San Francisco, and I'm running to represent one of them and to represent that neighborhood in City Hall so that we can have our voice heard. And I would be the first Filipino American to ever be elected to the Board of Supervisors in San Francisco. So I'm very excited and proud at that prospect. So thank you.
Very good and good luck. Just share a little bit of your thought about the Philippine election. And gathering is for the candidate of the President and Vice President of the Philippines. Just a little advice for our Filipino voters.
Well, I think any advice, regardless of who you're going to vote for, educate yourself, read up on the issues, make sure that the person that you're voting for and that you're encouraging friends to vote for, that you've taken the time to understand where they stand and how their views will not only affect in the immediate short term, but in the longer term, for your children, for your grandchildren, for your neighbors. Think about what your community might look like in 40 years based on your vote today.
We have another figure, famous lawyer in the Bay Area and even in the Philippines, Attorney Ted Laguatan. Let's hear from him kung anong masasabi niya. Bakit po gusto nating iboto si Mar Roxas at si Leni Robredo?
Well, kung pipiliin talaga kung sinong kandidato o sino mga kandidato na mahusay para sa Pilipinas, para sa future ng mga Pilipino, for their well-being, ang pinakamahusay na kandidato talaga si Mar Roxas at si Leni Robredo. Kasi meron silang track record talaga ng serbisyo, walang corruption. Kaya kung sila maging presidente at vice-presidente, tuloy ang pag-unlad ng bayan.
We have shared with you a lot, everything that's on the table regarding the election in the Philippines and why do we have to vote for Mar Roxas and Leni Robredo. Tune in to Islanders TV Channel 28 Monday every 6:30 to 7:30 and thank you. Good night.